I got a couple TVs going here. Let me mute them
You're
both.
all right. You're all right. We got time.
All
I'd
right.
like to start this once people are on anyway, so give it a second. You know the deal. Good to see you didn't do anything with your hair. I'm still rocking. I can do this now. I'm done talking to JC, so I can
Can let out
that up a
the
little.
Michigan.
Got them both. I'm representing them both, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Got it.
Got to after that win today.
Oh heck yeah, heck yeah. All right, let's go ahead and do this thing. It is the Voice of College Football post-game show. Paul Van Wagner, Mike McDaniel talking all things Hokies, obviously letting you chime in what you think. You said to me before we went on that the Hokies tried everything they could to give it away. And yeah, but they didn't. They didn't. Derek's right, man. That was stress. This has been a stressful day for me, Mike. My beard was black when we started today, and it's gray now. So,
Right.
damn.
Hey, man. 2 big wins by your schools today.
That's right. That's
What more can
right.
you ask for?
The only thing that would have made this the perfect weekend is if the Lions would have showed up and actually won on Thanksgiving. But
You
we
know
can't
better
have
than that,
everything,
though.
right?
You know better than that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So, thoughts overall. Hokies are going bowling, man. I guess that's first and foremost, right?
Yeah, it was hard to believe, honestly. The offense was really good, I thought, most of the game. The defense, horrible in the first half. Like, couldn't have been worse. And I thought they just did enough in the second half. They came up with some stops on third down, which they didn't in the first half. I didn't really understand the shuffling of the quarterbacks offensively between Burmeister and Blumrick. I mean, I thought they would do a little bit of that after last week, but Burmeister was playing so well that he was awesome today. Really, really good. I mean, just
Yeah.
a bunch of really good plays with his legs, a bunch of big time throws. I mean, he was really, really good, and didn't really understand the shuffling of the quarterbacks, but I think that was the game plan, and they were going to stick with it. And I understand having Blumrick in on short yard situations and stuff like that, because I think that's when he can absolutely be a weapon. But after taking Burmeister out of the game, putting Blumrick back in, after Burmeister just made a couple huge plays on a few different drives, didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But
Right.
I mean, all in all, though, I mean, what are we going to complain about? You know what I mean? You beat your rival. It wasn't easy, but you find a way in the second half, and it wasn't perfect, but rivalry games never are. So to go out and play the way that they did, I thought was really impressive on the road.
I think for me, the issue that I have with the Blumrick Burmeister thing is when you bring in Blumrick, yes, he gives you a little bit more, I guess, size and athleticism at the quarterback position, but he's not going to throw the ball.
Right.
So, Burmeister is much faster. I realize that he's smaller and you don't want him to get hurt, and I kind of get that, but I almost feel like you bring in Connor Blumrick and it's kind of like saying to whoever your opponent is, here's our hand, right? This is what we're going to play. We're not going to throw the ball, so now you just got to come out and try to stop the run. Luckily, UVA, man, I'll tell you what, you want to talk about a defense that can't stop the run. Woo! Google that. UVA pops up. That's the number one thing you'll find when you Google defenses that can't stop the run.
Yeah, I mean, definitely can't stop the run. Virginia Tech, and I'm pulling up the numbers right now, but Virginia Tech set a season a high watermark for the season in rushing yards, well over 300 yards. 320, just went up and down the field on him. Raheem Blackshear was really, really good in the running game, and Tech probably should have leaned on him a little bit more last week in the rain and the tough conditions down there in Miami, but they didn't. But Blackshear's been really good in the second half of the season, and between him and Malachi Thomas, they've had a really nice running game. And Blackshear, I think, made up for not having too many carries last week. He made up for it this week. When he got those carries, he was really, really good. Yeah, and I'm looking at the comment here on Cornelson. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, Cornelson's not a great offensive coordinator, but we only have one more game of him after this, so it's all
Yeah.
good.
And that, like, Tyler brings up a great point, right? I even tweeted out, like, who runs on 3rd and 2 a quarterback sneak right into and that was just straightforward quarterback dive. Like, that
Yeah,
was, I mean, like, it almost feels like sometimes Brad Cornelson is like, let's see if I can draw up the worst possible play and then not make it work. And it just, like, I as a fan get frustrated as hell by that, man.
yeah, he almost outsmarts himself.
Yeah.
If that's even possible. I mean, I know a lot of Virginia Tech fans don't think he's very bright with some of his play calling, but
Right.
he outsmarts himself. But I mean, the way I look at it is like Cornelson's problem over 6 years isn't the schematics of the offense. A lot of times, a play will be drawn up well and they just won't execute. But then a lot of times it's just like selecting plays in given situations, just not his strong suit. Just play selection. Play design is generally okay. Play selection is not. That's been a big issue, and uh, it was an issue again today. At points, but Tech made enough plays offensively to get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. And, it was one of those things, like, you go back and you look through the course of the season, right? And West Virginia, when you've got the ball 1st and goal or 2nd and goal, whatever it was, from the 4, and you run just 3 crap plays. And, then you look at there just are several games throughout the course of the season. And it kind of culminates today with that play against Virginia. But yeah, I mean, again, we get one more Corn game and then we're done with this. Derek, to answer your question, I was very confused initially by the announcement of J.C. Price as the head coach of the Hokies. Then we sat down for his first press conference, and I would have run through a wall for that dude. And he didn't do anything flashy, right? Like, it's just the way he talked about Virginia Tech, Mike. Like, that was when he spoke, I was just kind of like, crap, this dude gets it. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, not for sure. He's just the ultimate Hokie, isn't he?
Yeah.
He really is. I mean, for him to come out, after the game, and he was asked by a sideline reporter, what does this mean to you? It seems like you're emotional, and for him to just say, this is my school,
Mm-hmm.
it's a big deal. Beat your rival. This is my school. I mean,
Yep.
for Witt to tab him as the interim head coach couldn't have been a smarter decision, based on who the Hokies had as options on the coaching staff. I mean, he's the perfect guy to lead the team through the final 2 games and then the bowl game.
Yeah, I agree. If you're watching us right now on StreamYard, which this is the only place we're actually broadcasting on YouTube, follow, subscribe with the Virginia Tech page. We're going to do this throughout basketball season. Also, we've been doing it all year on the football end of things. So, Virginia Tech going bowling again after a year of not, due to COVID, due not to COVID. It will be very interesting to see how this plays out. I think it's pretty safe to say we will not see Trey Turner in the bowl game, but he might be the only one that isn't injured, right? Mitchell probably not going to play also. But,
Right.
I mean, outside of Trey Turner, I can't think of anyone else that wouldn't play in this game.
Yeah, I mean, we won't see Trey Turner. We didn't see him tonight outside of the play he made on special teams on the hands team on the onside kick. J.C. Price said, he was a healthy scratch. Essentially, after the Miami game, they didn't want to really get him beaten up, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. And J.C. Price said, "You're never going to choose the, winning any game over the health of a kid." So, I think he made the right decision there. They just want to make sure that Trey Turner's healthy and he's in the best position moving forward, as he's kind of here at the end of his career.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
But I don't see anybody else who wouldn't play in the bowl game, Paul. Just kind of off the top of my head, maybe Jermaine Waller. I know he didn't play today because of an ankle injury, and he's probably destined to move on and head to the NFL as well potentially. So that would be the only other guy I think in my mind who definitely wouldn't play in a bowl game.
Anyone that knows me, Mike, knows that one of the things I hate to do is give love to the people that are on the other side. I am the perpetual homer when it comes to my teams, but I got to say the guts, the tenacity, the fortitude of Brennan Armstrong today throwing for 400 yards. That, you know what, that kid can suit up for me anytime. And I know that may not be popular with Hokie Nation, but damn, that kid is tough.
He is one of my favorite college football players to watch.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat as you. He's gutsy. He's obviously he's a great player. He's
right.
The only reason Virginia is anywhere close to where they're at, the only reason why they went 6-6 and they're even going to a bowl game is because of Brennan Armstrong. He is just a one-man show on offense. He's unbelievable. He's got some good receivers around him. Obviously, don't want to disrespect Ontavian Wicks and all the receivers. Billy Kemp had a really nice game tonight. Don't want to disrespect those guys, but Armstrong, without him, UVA is probably a 3 or 4 win team this year.
Well, and you saw it today when he had to go out with the ankle injury, and then you saw it against Notre Dame, right? Like, that's not the same team when Brennan Armstrong isn't there. So, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, he's a senior this year, right? So this is it for Brennan Armstrong.
This is likely it. I think he's got one more year of eligibility just due to that extra COVID year.
Okay.
So I think technically he's a redshirt junior. So he may come back. And I think Virginia will actually be in a better spot roster-wise next year. I know Bronco's going to catch a lot of crap for losing this game to Virginia Tech, and I understand it. And they got to make some changes on defense, but they got some players on offense. I think UVA will be fine if they figure it out on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, we're not going to belabor this much longer. We're gonna get out of here, but we'll get one more Hokie House pregame show for a bowl game and one more postgame show for a bowl game. Thoughts on potential bowl locations? Are they kind of destined for the Pinstripe Bowl in New York City, or can they pick up something maybe in that second tier?
Yeah, Pinstripe Bowl seems like the one. I was kind of thinking through in my head. Pinstripe seems probably pretty likely. Potentially the Sun Bowl. I know there's a bowl game at Fenway Park this year. I'm not sure the name of that, but I don't know if it's just the Fenway Bowl or what. But I know the ACC has a tie in there as well. So I think more than likely it'll be the Pinstripe. But I think a lot of that, there are a lot of ACC games tonight with bowl implications. So I think we'll know more about that, before the night ends.
Real quick, Derek asked a good question, so we'll touch on this before we wrap this thing up. I don't believe – initially I thought that maybe tomorrow or Monday would be the press conference. I'm hearing, though, that it's potential that whoever Witt has chose will be playing in a conference championship game. So take that for whatever you want to take it for. And it's looking more like the 6th-ish of December that will have that announcement. That's what I'm hearing. Mike, what are you hearing?
I've heard that. I've also heard potentially tomorrow, although I'm not sure how much of that smoke that's been floating around the internet over the last 48 hours is legitimate. The rumor that's been out there is that Witt might be trying to pull a rabbit out of the hat with Matt Campbell at Iowa State. Okay. Obviously, Iowa State is not going to be playing in the Big 12 championship game. So
certainly,
if he wanted to make a hiring announcement tomorrow, for example, it's likely that it would be somebody not named Charles Huff, not named Billy Napier, not named Bill O'Brien, a lot of guys who are out there who aren't playing in conference championship or aren't coaching, in conference championship games next week. If it ends up being tomorrow, I think the rabbit out of the hat home run hire of Matt Campbell might be on the table, but we'll see, man. There's so many rumors out there. It's hard to believe anything until pen hits paper.
Yeah, and of course, we'll have a breakdown for you here, and also you can find me on ESPN Blacksburg Monday through Friday from 4 to 6. I host the Drive with Andrew Alex. Mike is on Sons of Saturday, the Basketball Conference podcast. You can fight with him on Twitter. He likes to do that. It's getting to be the holidays, though. I don't think many people are fighting with you now, are they?
Nah, it's been pretty quiet. I've been trying to make sure it's quiet too on my end. Try not to instigate.
Not stirring stuff up, are you?
Yeah, not trying to.
All right. That's fair. Where else can they find you? I gave a couple of them. Did I hit everything?
Hokie Hangover. I do that
Hokie.
podcast with Andrew and Ricky. So go check that out as well.
Lots of great spots for you to find us, and we thank you all for jumping on today. And we will have pregame here for the bowl game, and we will have postgame for the bowl game. Mike, have a great week. I'll talk to you on Thursday if you answer your phone?
I'll answer my phone.
All right, sounds good, man. You take care of yourself.
Later, man.
Thanks, guys.